guys, welcome to today's video. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. I am so eager to get into today's video because I'm doing something really exciting. It's not necessarily the most responsible decision of me to do this, but it's something that I'm really excited about. So today's video is going to be starting new fantasy series. Now, I am such in a fantasy reading mood right now, and I honestly feel like a fantasy winter reading mood is so different than a summer fantasy reading mood, but I'm in my summer fantasy reading mood. I could read the same book, but it's just different reading it in the summer. I really just need a good fantasy. I've been craving like a specific feeling from a fantasy, and I just haven't yet had that fix. So we're on a hunt. We're gonna try that. These books or series have the potential to be 5 stars, I believe. I have heard really good things. They seem kind of right up my alley. I've been really wanting to read some of them for a long time, and I either just haven't gotten around to it or I've been putting it off for whatever reason. It's time. And the reason I'm actually even doing this video, I wasn't going to at first, but the reason I am is because I have a book on my Kindle that I got the hold for, and I started reading it last week. I didn't even have a hold for it. That's why I got it. I downloaded it on a whim and I was like, now's the time to read it. It's now or never. I didn't have to wait for it. And that is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas, House of Earth and Blood. Obviously, it's the first one. I am 149 pages in, which is also 20%. It is an 800-page book on Kindle. And honestly, I feel like not much has happened. I don't know. I don't know the plot of like the story or the series. Like I genuinely have no idea. I have tuned it out and tried to avoid it because I love going into a fantasy not knowing what's going on. I feel like we've been introduced to the plot a little bit in the past few 25 pages. But again, I'm not really sure where it's going. At this moment, it's just very, I'm like, where's the heist? I'm like, it doesn't feel very high stakes. It's a little bit mundane almost. That's currently what's going on. I'm going to go through the other books that I have that are on my list for potentially starting in this video. I'm going to go over these other books that I have. These are all from my physical TBR and all books that I've been having on my radar and really wanting to pick up. Let's get into it. First book is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I've been wanting to read this book for so long, but it scares me. Genuinely, like I'm so intimidated by this book because it's so, first of all, it's massive, but also I've heard that the world building is just straight off. Like there's a glossary, and I think the fact that there's a glossary, that's what's intimidating me because I feel like I need to know, and I hate the having to reference. Like I'd rather just try to figure it out. But I fear if there's a glossary, I'm probably gonna wanna use it. This will maybe depend on how I'm feeling after Crescent City because like I said, that's 800 pages. This is like 700. However, this is also on Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, this is another option. Next option is Dance of Thieves. This is a duology. Again, I don't know anything about it at all. I know it's YA. That's it. That's literally all I know. So that's another option. Then we have Light Lark. I feel like I know a little bit more about this one. I'm pretty sure it's something along the lines of like, there's a game that happens every 100 years, and I think it's like different islands or countries or I don't know, something. And it's like, in order for one to win the game, one of the islands, it has to be like destroyed or something, and everyone on it. I think it's something along those lines, but I've heard such good things about this book. Yes, but I feel like I keep seeing this everywhere and everyone's like raving about it. I need to know what is going on. Then we have An Ember in the Ashes, another series that I hear amazing things about. This one, I actually don't know anything about. I try to avoid hearing things about books that I think I would be interested in because, especially fantasy, because I just really want to go in as blind as I possibly can. This is also, I feel like, a good option. I've been wanting to pick this up for literally so long. I think I got it at the same time as this book, but I've been way more intrigued and wanting to read this. This is definitely kind of on the top of my radar. The last book that is a possibility is Heavenly Bodies. I just picked this up last weekend. I just keep seeing 5-star after 5-star after 5-star. I need to know what the hype is about. This is gonna be so good, I hope. I have really high expectations, like I said, which maybe I shouldn't go in with high expectations, but I just have a feeling that I'm gonna find at least one 5-star in this video. Even if they're not a 5-star, I think the series could be 5 stars. So I'm definitely intrigued and interested in seeing how that plays out. I think it's a romance, yeah, the romance fantasy series. So you guys, another book, I have no idea what it's about, but like I said, I'm reading Crescent City right now. I only have 4 days to read it from now. That's when my Libby hold expires, so I really have to get on it. I'm about to go on a run, and I'm gonna run out like 2 or 3 miles, and then I'll walk 2 or 3 miles back, and I'll have my phone with me, which I will read on my Kindle app, because yesterday I went on a walk for like 4 hours. It was just so hot. I couldn't do a run, but I read the whole time. It's gonna be hard. Like this in itself is gonna be a challenge. Like this could be a video. It's reading 800 pages in 4 days. If it was not a Sarah J. Maas fantasy book, I feel like it would be a lot easier, but alas, it is. So we're gonna have to see how this goes. Fingers crossed. I think that I'll be able to make a really good dent if I don't get to finish it. I feel like this lineup is pretty stacked. We'll see how this video goes. It's gonna definitely take me more than a week because these books are big. Hey guys, it's 1:30. It's also Saturday. It's Sunday. Basically, I filmed updates throughout the week of me reading Crescent City. For some reason, just like the quality was so bad, so I deleted them all. But I wanted to give you guys an update. I haven't opened my Kindle since I finished it, even though I returned it, but I finished. I literally was like so stressed out because I was like, I need to finish this before my hold is up in the morning on Friday, that my hold was gonna be up. So I was like, I have to finish this Thursday night. And it was Monday, and I had read 120-ish pages or something. Tuesday, I only read 100 pages. And then Monday I read 100 pages. Tuesday, I read 100 pages. By the time I got to Wednesday, I was like, I need to be sat. I ended up reading 300 pages. And then I read the last 200 pages on Thursday. And you guys, it took me so long to get through it. But I have a lot of thoughts on the book. Honestly, it was very interesting. Everything kind of felt very convenient. I don't know how to explain it really. I definitely thought that it was gonna be more fantasy heavy. It kind of felt like cozy fantasy for a while, like the world. Like it didn't seem intense. It didn't seem like there was really much conflict. And then the majority of the book felt like it was just following the romance, not like an actual plot of any sort. And the plot itself was kind of just like, eh. But then like when you get towards the end, it was like you find out you get all the answers for like pretty much everything. Something honestly not that shocking to me happened that I was like, okay, like this is like the third act conflict of like, it's a romance. Like it feels like it's a romance, but it felt like that was the plot, was the romance. And then there was like a subplot, or it was just set in a fantasy world. Also, it was different point of views, but the majority of it was just between Bryce and then the male main character. There were a couple other ones at the beginning, and then they came back at the end, but like the majority, so it just felt like a dual POV romance almost. And yeah, everything just like that happened felt very convenient. It felt too easy, like whatever. And then, of course, as she does, the last like 120 pages or so, it definitely picked up. Completely different plot, like from that. But again, solving that problem or that part of the plot felt too easy. However, stuff was happening that was like way like cooler and like way better. True fantasy feeling, like exactly what I expected from Sarah J. Maas. That's what I would think the whole book should have been like, but it definitely wasn't. I don't even know if that makes any sense. Like the end was really good. There were parts that were really good. Obviously, there's more books in the series, so like I am curious to see like what's gonna happen now. But I was gonna say like the book could have been like done if you didn't have that part of the plot at the end. Like you could have ended the book like 100, 200 pages early, like genuinely. And even after that happened, it wrapped up, like it still wrapped up with a little bow on top. And if it wasn't for the epilogue, it could have been like a standalone fantasy romance. Like, I sound like I'm like tearing it apart. I did really enjoy it. I liked lots of parts about the romance with the characters, and like there were certain things, but at some point it just felt like too long. Also, like, I guess, I don't know, in urban fantasy I'm not really used to. They talked a lot about like taking selfies, like that was a big thing. They started like taking selfies or pictures of each other when they were like doing things, like whatever, and it just like that kept coming up. I'm like, okay, like Okay. I did also say to my friend, I was like, it felt like a 700-page prologue. Like, genuinely, like a romance prologue, a 700-page prologue. And then the story actually began the last 100 pages. So anyway, my initial thought, the whole time, I was like, this is like a 3-star for me. I think the end really saved it. I gave it a 3.5 star. Not exactly like shocked, I guess, because I gave Throne of Glass, like the first book, 3-star. Akatar, I gave 4-star. But even that kind of was pushing it, I think, for the first time. It was good. I just kind of expected more out of her, I think. But obviously, we'll see where, I don't know where it's gonna go. Also, there's like there is like a war, but it's like not relevant to them. Which is also why I was like, it didn't feel high stakes. Cause like, it's just like, like the war is doesn't have anything to do with them. It's on a completely different like land, like across the sea. Like not relevant. And it was brought up like a couple times, but it's just like, I don't know. So anyway, sorry for that really like jumbled review. I just had like a lot of thoughts and I wanted to get them out. I'll definitely continue the series, not right now. It can still get better. That being said, I picked up An Ember in the Ashes right after I finished. And actually, it was legitimately I only read 18 pages because I was so tired. It was pretty quick to read the first like 20 pages though, because like the writing, like the lines are like big spacing, and it's just like, it's YA, like there's so far not much to it. We've been introduced to both of the main characters. I don't know what this book is about literally at all. Let's get on it. Let's get on with this. Oh, also so random, so unrelated. Also on Prime Day, I got 2 more books. Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. I've heard that this book is really good. Like Bridgerton, it's literally so short. It's not even 300 pages. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I still have yet to read a Kristen Hanna book. That is on my list for July. I'm gonna read Firefly Lane. Hopefully that was what I put for my TBR video. I'm gonna go sit outside on my balcony and read this, drink my coffee, even though it's like almost 2 p.m. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go read. Take you guys with me, and it'll be so good. It is a lot later. It's 6 o'clock. Oh my God, it's late. I didn't realize it was already 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, I went out and I read for a little bit. Let's see. I only got to page 61. So again, I read like 41 pages or something like that. I was so tired. I was falling asleep outside and it was so nice out, but I was like, if I'm gonna take a nap, it's gonna be on the couch. So I came in and I slept for a few hours and then I showered. I'm chilling. I walked to the mailroom and I got my box set. So that's exciting. But yeah, I'm still gonna continue reading. Hopefully I can make a lot more progress. I'm way more wide awake now. Like I just had such a busy long weekend and week. I needed that. I need that to catch up on my sleep. And still not much has happened. I'm still waiting for the plot to pick up for the male main character, Elias, because it's just talking about what he's about to do, but it hasn't actually happened yet. And I just want to see how that goes down. The girl, still not much with her. She found what she was looking for, and that's kind of where we're at. Hey guys, so obviously I'm in the car. I just had my workout class and I brought this because I had a little bit of time. I read during lunch. I also read a bunch yesterday, but I read during lunch today and I figured I would have a little bit of time to read before my workout class, and I did, but I stopped in like 4 pages before the end of the chapter and it was in the middle of some action. The action, which is also one of my favorite tropes, is not even on the back of this. The back of this I probably could have read and had no care in the world because it wouldn't have spoiled anything at all, which I love, because I hate knowing all the tropes going in. I will say, obviously it's a male and a female main character. There's gonna be a romance of some sort, but that's like literally so far from the main plot that it's just like a minuscule little like, and it hasn't even become romance yet. There's no hint of romance, which I'm loving because it's just plot. And something about a YA fantasy with just plot hits so different, and it's so quick to read. It's usually not too complicated, but it's like the stakes are high. I'm enjoying this a lot, and it's definitely interesting because both of the main characters are on completely kind of separate timelines. Like they're happening at the same time, but we were in one person's timeline, and then all of a sudden it's like 7 days later, and then it goes, but you don't know that it's actually been that long until it's brought up. And then in the other person's point of view, it goes back to 7 days before. That just happened once. I don't know if that's going to continue to happen, but like crazy. I still don't know how they're going to become relevant to each other's stories at all, because right now they both have their own missions and neither of them are really related, at least not at this point. Ended up reading, I think, like 150 pages, and then I haven't read that much today, obviously, because it was just during lunch, and a little bit right now. So I'm officially on page 216. You know what? That's chapter 23. I do know that Roman numeral. Chapter 23, I'm almost halfway. I'm basically halfway. I think it's like 450-ish pages. Yeah, it's 446 pages. So I'm almost halfway. I also am just still not over how perfectly my nails match. And I did tab a couple of things, like 2 things, but the color is also perfect to this color, which I love because I didn't have any red. I'm really having just the best time reading this right now. Guys, this is so intense. I'm on chapter 39. I'm on chapter 39. Oh my gosh. Well, I just finished chapter 38, page 341. I'm still gonna read for a little bit longer. It is getting late. I'm a little bit tired, so I have like 100 pages left. I'm definitely not gonna finish that tonight, but maybe I'll make it to part 3. How many pages is that? 98. Okay, so I actually don't know if I'll make it that far to part 3. I felt like I wanted to cry like during this chapter. It was so sad and very intense. Very intense. Of course, now it's not his POV anymore, so we're back to Laya. I hope this is a short chapter because I want to get back to... Oh, look at that. It's not. It's like 10 pages actually. So it's not bad. Crazy. What just happened was crazy and so sad. Literally wanted to cry. Literally made me want to cry. Okay, hi guys. Also, gorgeous. Look at my flowers. Gorgeous. I'm obsessed. Quick little update. I'm just sorry. Those are literally taking up the whole screen. I just got a package delivered with another book, and you guys, I know I need to stop. However, I've read this one. I've been wanting the physical copy for literally like a year now. The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. You guys, this book, Ultimate Book Boyfriend, Rory Miller is literally top book boyfriend. So good. I haven't read the other 2 that have come out after this one. I don't want the other books. I just want this one, and I'm so glad I have it because yesterday I got a notification. It was like already on sale, and then there was like a coupon. So that's great. I'll give you guys a book update. Home again for lunch, and I have like 35 minutes till I have to leave. But yesterday I got to chapter... You know what? I don't know what chapter number that is. Page 374. So I have like 70 pages left. I'm definitely finishing this tonight. No feelings have changed. Still loving it. Still think the plot's crazy. Just when I'm like maybe getting a little bored at like someone's point of view, like the end of their chapter just like completely goes crazy, and it's just like cliffhanger. And then of course you have the other person's point of view in between. But then it's like what they're dealing with might be even, it's just, I don't know. It's definitely, the pacing is keeping me hooked. So that's good news. That's really good news. I'm very curious to see where this will go. That's what I'm gonna do during my break right now. I'm gonna keep reading, be able to finish this, and then start another book. editing me popping in, I never gave a recap on An Ember in the Ashes. Never gave my rating. Don't know what happened. I just hopped right into the other one and I never updated. So quick update. I gave it a 4.5. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm very, very invested in seeing where the next book goes. From what it's hinting at, we can kind of figure out what the trope is, which is another trope that I really enjoy. So I'm definitely looking forward to starting that. But yeah, definitely such a good book. 4.5 star, totally recommend it. I feel like the series will only get better. That's all I'm gonna say. Definitely not disappointed by this one. Would recommend. Okay, back to the video. Okay guys, I have picked her out. I am gonna read Heavenly Bodies. I'm so excited. I came prepared. This time. I have a tab because I just, if it hits like it's supposed to hit, I feel like the romance could be really good. My nails also match this. Sorry, that was so annoying. I'm coming prepared and let's get started. I wonder how many pages this is. It's like, okay, it's like almost 500. That's not terrible. It's like basically what I just read. So, okay, I'm really excited. It's almost 8:30, so I'm gonna read for probably like an hour, hopefully. And I'll definitely update you guys tomorrow morning, if not tonight. It is the next day. My hair looks crazy, so we're just gonna ignore that. I wanted to give you guys a little book update. Last night I got to page 41, so I finished 6 chapters because I'm on chapter 7, and I'm enjoying it so far. It definitely jumps right in. You meet the male main character, have an interaction with him. It's definitely interesting. I almost feel like it was like too quick, but the little bit of banter that we did get, I enjoyed. It's very typical like romantic-y banter. However, I did like it. I don't know. It's like almost like they skipped right to banter, and then literally like 2 pages later, it was like, just kidding, like, I hate you. We're doing a good job getting into it, at least. Now stuff I feel like is gonna happen, and it's just then we have so much more book. Like, I don't think there's gonna be, obviously there was not a lot of background. We were getting bits and pieces of what got our main character, her name's Elena, I believe. Alara. What got Alara to where she is right now. And like, we know the more recent events, but we're getting to know her backstory a little bit more. Like, again, like I said, bits and pieces. We definitely got a little bit of world building right off the bat, but I do think that's something that will expand throughout the book. I don't really have any other thoughts. Like, I'm literally only 40 pages in, but I am going to continue reading this tonight, and it's only 7:20, so I have so much time before bed. Getting interesting. Oh, I just got water all over that. It's getting interesting. I just found out why he doesn't like her. Didn't really see that coming because I didn't, like, we haven't literally learned anything. Crazy. Quick update. I'm 52% of the way through this book. I'm on page, I don't know, let me see, 245. So again, a little over halfway. I actually had a skip the line copy on Libby for this book, so I've been reading on my Kindle, which I'm loving because I have been reading it a lot faster. I'd say when it hit 35% on there, that's when it kind of picked up. The story kind of picked up, but I'm just a little bit, I'll do final thoughts at the end. I am enjoying it more now, but I don't know if it's the writing style or if it's just the pace of the story is very weird to me. And like the timeline kind of doesn't make sense because it's like, you'll spend multiple chapters in one day and then just jumps. In the next chapter, it literally was like, that's the routine we had for like weeks. And it was just like, but we didn't get to see like any of what was going on. So it kind of was just like, it just jumped and it was weird. And I was like, okay. So I'm still kind of having a hard time feeling connected to the characters because we honestly don't have a lot of backstory. We're not seeing the day-to-day of like the storyline. Like, we're just seeing like these big things and everything kind of just feels like too easy. It's so easy for them to like get out of it or to do what they're trying to do. Like, one of the things is she has like 3 powers, One of them she like can't access because she just doesn't know how to anymore. And then it's just like when we see her trying to do that, it just like everything was too easy. I am enjoying it, but I don't know, not exactly what I thought it was gonna be. I'm liking the romance a little bit more, but again, more thoughts on that to come at the end. I'm kind of like, I'm enjoying the romance part of it, but it also feels like, again, I don't feel connected to the characters, so I'm kind of just like, this is supposed to be enemies to lovers. I get that she was trying to do that. I don't know if the execution was the best, but alas. I'll definitely be able to finish it this weekend, which thank God, because I just want to move on to something that I know could be a 5-star, and I don't, this isn't gonna be a 5-star. So, not to say it's bad. At this point, it's sitting at a 3. It is sitting at a 3. I have faith that it could go up to like 3.5 or 4, just really depends on how the second half of the book goes. Quick little update. I'm holding the book, but I'm still reading on my Kindle. And honestly, it must be due soon because I feel like I didn't get it that long ago, or I feel like I got it like a while ago on my Libby. But regardless, I am on page 452 out of 485. So I'm 94% of the way. It says I have 35 minutes left in this book. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit out on my balcony and finish this. And then I'm gonna make dinner and stuff. But I need to finish this so I can give you guys an update. So I'm so close. I'm so close, but I need to be done with it. I've been filming this video for like 2 weeks. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna read. I'm not gonna come back in until I am done. Finished. I have so many thoughts and I've been sitting on the rating for days, like genuinely thinking about it. I feel like I'm gonna be generous when I say a 2.5 star. I really did not like this. I didn't necessarily mind the storyline, like the plot. I did, however, very much dislike the writing. Everything felt very instant and too easy. There's just like, they run into a problem and then nope, problem solved. Like, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. That really bothered me because I'm like, okay, it's not really high, it doesn't feel high stakes. Everything is just getting resolved like immediately. And then like all these like realizations or like information that's like big news is just being told to us. Like there's nothing hinting towards that throughout the whole book, and then it's like automatically like she learns something and she's like, oh, like this is it, like this is the answer, or like she puts pieces together, but it's like we don't really like have any information. It's just like annoying because it's like, how did you come to that conclusion when like there's like no reasoning behind it? It's so anticlimactic because it's like just someone saying something or her all of a sudden being like figuring it out, and there was just like no reason for us to know that that could have been coming. Aside from that, like I also did not like the writing style, just point blank period. I didn't like the writing. I really kind of found our main character pretty insufferable. It felt like something would happen and then like she would be upset about it and then, oh, you're forgiven, or like you're just like, it just really bothered me. Multiple gripes about what's on the back. It says enemies to lovers. That completely false. It was so not enemies to lovers. There was one moment of like, oh, I hate you. Then they like basically completely take that back. I didn't get to see any of the progress of like them falling in love with each other. Some of the things that they did and said you wouldn't say if you hated someone. So that's where I'm like having a problem because I'm like, just it's not believable, I guess. Also, stuff on the back just like is wrong. Like she flees her home. Like, I guess kind of she did, but that was so glossed over and it was basically just like she was kidnapped. And then also like oh yes, this is on the back, so I can say this. Enzo trains Alara. We don't see a single, I think we get one training scene, maybe two. And then at the end, all these things, like she's capable of all these things or knows how to do all these things now. And we didn't get to see how any of that played out. It was just kind of like, okay, like you can do that. Things were just told to us, and also it just felt way too long. It felt way too long. I, after 60%, was like ready to put this down. I'm like, there's just too much happening, but it's all happening so quick. Like, I feel like this book could have been split into two and like paced out a lot better than it was. Honestly, me giving this 2.5 stars is me being generous, and it's only because I loved Enzo. I'm curious to see if I'll pick up the next book because when that comes out, because I'm intrigued based on how it ended, but also like some things that came together at the end. Like, there were a lot of words that I was like, that's just the wrong tense. Like, dove, it said dived instead of dove. It bothers me when grammar's not right. But also, if I read the word enveloped, nope. I'm having like I've been saying it so many times in my head that I just don't. Enveloped. I think it's enveloped. Guys, this doesn't even sound like a word to me. Maybe it is enveloped. No, I feel like it's enveloped. Anyway, I'm gonna write it on the screen. I sound crazy. I literally sound crazy. I've never read that word more in my life than I have in this book. I literally was like, if I read it one more time, I'm gonna throw the book down. I think that's really specific, and I'm probably the only one who's gonna notice that, but 2.5 stars. It is unfortunate because I did like the plot, even though some of the plot didn't really make sense. The physics didn't make sense. This book just didn't do it for me. It really didn't, and I'm really bummed because it had a lot of potential. I know a lot of other people have rated it very highly. So, you guys, that is the end of today's video. It took me so long to film for no reason, and the majority of it wasn't even Crescent City. I'm definitely excited to continue Crescent City and the Ember in the Ashes series. The only emoji I can think of right now is the lion emoji that's relevant from Heavenly Bodies. So leave the lion emoji down below if you got to this point in the video, and definitely give this a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. Like I said in my last videos, I'm definitely trying to get back on to posting more consistently. So that being said, I will see you guys next time. Bye.